Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yashai Barakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Alathah, Bashem Yashai to the sisters. Priest and officer, Thawon Bar coming to you. Once again, it's the ISUPK Lashawan Qadash. Also, what you're going to be doing is doing the Sabbath service, though. So, sundown is like 8 o'clock, though. So, we'll do the Hebrew, of course, though. So, we'll go over the basics, the alphabet, of course. And then we're going to transition over into the Sabbath service. If you got questions, go ahead and type them in. Got questions, go ahead and type them in, though. But first thing first, big ups to Commander Juliana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, all the men that are out here doing this work. I hope y'all all got a chance to tune into the class last night with General Mahaiman. That was a serious, powerful class though. So, what I want to do is share this with y'all, and then we'll go over the alphabet. All right. So first thing, of course, when it comes down to the Hebrew, if you have not gotten your Hebrew alphabet, if you haven't got the Hebrew alphabet, let us know. We'll get that to you. Send an email to ISUPKSyracuse@gmail.com. ISUPKSyracuse@gmail.com. All right. So I just showed you the alphabet that was on the board. I will write it down. Hopefully you are writing it down too. You should be writing it down. That way you are familiar with it. And it's not like, oh, it's a foreign language. Nah, it's what you should know. It's locked. If we get a check before having this one. All right. I ain't gonna call it out. I'm gonna see if y'all could, go ahead and do that. This is just the first portion of the alphabet. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, and la. so this is what I'm gonna do different. Alright, I'm gonna do something a little different this week because, like I said, we're going to transition right into the Sabbath, which starts at sundown. So that's like another 30 minutes though, but we have the Abba Gada Hawa Za Ka Ta Ya La Ka Ta Ya Kala Manasa I plus the Kwa Ra Sha and the. Alright? This is what we have in regards to the Hebrew. This is the ancient. Alright? The ancient Lashawan Qadash. That's what we're here to learn, of course, though. But let's see. Alright. So what I just put on the board, lock it. I would definitely say that this side's a little. So for the Sabbath, of course, I mean, I would expect that everybody would be able to go through this, roll with us on this one. Of course, that light. All right, so y'all can see that the ancient, the Assyrian, the the Ba, the Ga, the Da. Ba, Ga, Da. Ha, Wa. So when you read the text, when we read, you know what I'm saying, if you go to blueletterbible.com and you see, you're going to see these characters. These are the characters that you'll see. All right. You should be practicing all of them. So, as we look up here, we also have Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, the Ma. This isn't an alternative ending, which you see here. This is the open space Ma in the Assyrian. This is the closed space Ma, which is at the end of a word. This Na, although it looks similar, notice the round corners here, and also the elongated stem. When you see here, shorter stems, 90-degree angles. All right, the Sa, the I, looks like a Y almost, but the Pa. This is also the Pa that's at the end of a word. So this is what you use when you're using a Pa at the end of the word. So as we go over the precepts and you see this character, you know that what? You are at the end of the word. Same thing with the Taza, right? This is the Taza. Taza at the end of the word. It's the Qua, the Ra, the Sha, and the Tha. All right. Hopefully you have practiced it, because we are going to go over this and we're going to get right into the Sabbath service. All right. Now, if I was to see, we have several people that is watching and observing online, right? If I was to put a random set of characters, let's just say I did this. Would y'all be able to write down each of these characters? 'Cause I'm not going to put up the alphabet again because we already did it. This is the ancient. If I was to write down the Assyrian, it's like it. It's more so like, all right, and was writing down the Syria, would you be able to tell me what that is, right? Nothing on the board is the same. Nothing on the board is the same. Each character is different. All right? Each character is different. You should know these things. Now, even if I was to do something like right? Shapat. Shapat. I've given you 3 words. Each word has characters. This all could be broken down. And nothing on the board is the same. Check here online to see what we're looking at, what we got. See if anybody's brave enough. If anybody's willing, you know what I'm saying, to take the challenge and write down what they think the translation of these words are. Alright? If anybody willing to take a chance and say, you know what? I took notes. I paid attention. So I can write it down. Is anybody willing to do that? You can be wrong. That's alright. This is part of learning though. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's at least one character or one word on this board that you should all know, because when we read the Hebrew, we read it about 4 or 5 times, especially when it comes to Moses. All right. Nobody's. No sweat. So, this is the ka. That's the ka. That's the tha. That's the ba. Tha. Tha. This one here is the first character of the alphabet. Ah. Ma. Ah. Ma. Ra. Which becomes Amar. Amar. Same thing with here, right? Well, I'll write it differently. The shot. It's the shot. And the ancient, that's the pot. Did I do that right? No. Yeah. Shapat. So even if you didn't write the first thing down, if you wrote this down, right. That's right. Kathab. That's correct. You'll typically see this in the in the text like this. So this will change from to say and sing. So you may see it more so like Wayamar. So Wayamar. This is pertaining to whoever is coming after. So, and he said, who said, let's just say, it was, I know I just went through, alright. I know, I switched between the Assyrian and the ancient. This is the ancient, so if I was to put it in the Assyrian, So, and Moses spoke, speak to say, or you're in the action. So, wa amar, masha. Oh, shapat. Anybody want to take a guess at what shapat is? Anybody want to take a guess at what shapat is? Let's see. Just checking online real quick. All right. That's what everybody be out here saying. You can't judge me. You can't judge me. Why? Only God can judge. Well, I can judge according to the scriptures. That's what we should not forget. It's not judging into my opinion. Judging according, you know what I'm saying, to the Most High. To what He says. We're bringing out the other day in the class, what is it? Don't just be hearers of the word, be what? Doers of the word. So when we go out here, we speak to our brothers and sisters, it's not that we just say, oh, keep the Sabbath, keep the Sabbath. We are actually keeping the Sabbath, right? Sundown starts the Sabbath. That's the next day. I was actually reading an article online, and I'm listening how these so-called Jewish cats is out here like, oh yeah, I practice, I keep the Sabbath. I want to make sure that other people knows my culture, right? He stole our culture. That's why he's trying to make sure that other people knows, so that he gets the clout. He gets the, oh yeah, we're the Jews, when they're not. That's a lie. All right? So, if you did not write down the alphabet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the Y. Shamar. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? You got 12 parts of the alphabet. Right there. That's half. And all I did was give you 3 words. The characters, the wa, the ya, the ah, the ma, the ra. The sha, the pa, the ta. That's most of the second half of the alphabet. Ba, which is in the first half. Da, which is in the end. Ka is like almost smack dab in the middle. Can anybody think of any other words? Any other words? You could probably think of like 3. This brother hardcore right here though, right? Brother's hardcore. I'm gonna use his brother's name. Let me see. Alright, so it's the I, ba, the da. I think we had the ba last time, right? Yeah, we did. We didn't have I on the board, nor did we have da. So you have what? I, ba, da. It's I, bod. Just to serve. What I would also encourage you to do, of course, on your own, show that zeal. So that you can then go, alright? Alright? That's the Assyrian. This is the ancient. Also known as the Paleo. Also known as the Paleo Hebrew. This right here is the Assyrian. Assyrian. So that gives us what? 14 out of 24, right? Let me see. I got the Let's see, what are we going to use? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? All right. Let's go with. Boom. Obviously, we're using bar a lot though. It's the qua, ba, which would. Wabataza. I feel like there's a character that I used already though, but maybe I'm just missing it right now. If y'all paid attention, right? If y'all paid attention, I'm gonna give y'all one. All right. I'm gonna give you one. Just got a few more minutes, anyways. It is nah. All right, so try to make it somewhat easy for you. La. Yeah, well, I know y'all seen those videos. Y'all heard General Hyman say, "Deliver the scroll! Deliver the scroll!" Not to Zod. Not to Zod. To deliver. Of course, we checked 2 more off because we added the na and the la. The na and the la. I'm also what I'm using right now, using words that you have easy access to, words that you have easy access to. These next few, because it's just a few left though, but oh right, I already used this one. That's why. Alright, I gave you this one in this series. So we gotta be so tempted with this one right here. So what we have here, we have the na, we have the ga, we have I, the guy, to touch, the guy. So each character is giving more to the alphabet, the guy. That crosses off ga, which I know I didn't have. I know I didn't use that yet. I'll try to be quick with this one right here. Let's see. the sake of time, I'll just give you the other ones. For the sake of time. Alright. One that we did not go over. Ka. Za, which is obvious. I don't recall Sa. So Za, Ka, Sa. And Salakia. That rounds it out for the alphabet. So all the characters, the ancient and the Assyrian. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the Sabbath service. So bear with for a brief moment. All right. Bear with for a brief moment. Con, the water. Listen, definitely got this. Salakia, I didn't see. You know what I'm saying, that you posted, of course, though. I'll definitely go back, check it, review it. Maybe I used the car already, didn't realize it. But definitely the water. I'm saying, for going ahead and even attempting that. All right. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and, get into the Sabbath real quick. Starting at sundown, it starts the Sabbath, right? Because we will be traveling. We have a few other things that's going on. We will do our Sabbath right now. All right. Dawongabar Banya Sluggy. Dawongabar Banya Howda Banya Shrala. Alright. Usually it's done with the highest priest and then the second priest, though. So the high priest would be up here. The second priest, they would blow, you know what I'm saying, the shofar. And the Yakim would state the registry. As you can see, just like these sticks right here, each priest would both, one and one would have a stick. So the priest would hold right here, right? Brother here, holding the sticks. And then they would state their registry. As they state their registry, they would repeat their brother's name back. And then they would welcome him up to the podium. And that's when they would set this, down. The brother would come up. We greet the brother. Here we go. Y'all watching your Shabbat. Boom, boom, boom. Dap him up. Of course, take the strong of the wine. Just pour. All right. Y'all Lashawan. You would drink. However much, you know what I'm saying, priest poured, he would drink. All right? So, at that point, second priest blows the horns again. All right. Imagine, Paul Yahakadam, turn to face the east. We are going to do the Lord's prayers. We're going to do the prayers starting in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Qadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemaya, Lathunanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawathi Nawa, Wala'ah, Tabayai Nawa, Banasai Wal, Abal, Habashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha, Allah, Wala Parath, La Ibulamyam, Aman. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Blessing to Israel. The blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Why Malaki Allah? Why Allah Hayim? Matazabaya. Alawop Yahana. Ha Alawopim. Hasaronyam. Hakwatazayanyam. Hakakagayam. Wa'akwathim. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. Aman. In English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, Commander Jimihana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Hakat, the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakushah, Nathanawa, Hakat, La'a, Larapa'ah, Ka Makala, Waka Marawa, Hakat, La Tahar, Hamatazrayim, Hakat, La Hakim, Hamathim, Hakat, Arakara, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the water, Aman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayan Ya, Al, Ha-Yaram, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Ra'arataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Ayanawam, Shamaraka, Hana'ah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shamamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamaraka, Yahweh, Tzalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaka, Rayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Ashnapaska, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaathka, Waba'aka, Ma'aitha'ah, Wa'idalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, al-dama laka, al-takagarash, wa al-tashakwat, al-kayahana, awaya bayaka, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Imaka, Ya'ira Yamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Wayatazawa, Al, Taza Pawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakaki Yadam, Magarwa, it's like it, Magawa Ya. Wa'ala'a, it's like it. Wa'ala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Awada, Kaya, Na'awatu, it's like it. Nawa'itazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Barath, Yakarathwa, Ahalya, Adawam, Wa Yashamai, Allah, Yam, Mawa'aba, Wahagayam, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amalat, Palashat, Anyashaba, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Za'arwai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha, it's like Aisha, Laham, Kamadia, it's like Kamadia, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Manakal, Kwayashwa, Nashamadwa, Ba'aya, it's like it, Ba'aya Yan Da'ira, Haya Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yab, Mawa, Ka'irab, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakataza'al, Mana I, Kal, Mana Sake, Nasa Kamwa, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakazazal, Mana I, Kal, Nasa Yakamwa, Ashar, Amo, Sake, Amarwa, Naya, Sake, Naya Rasha, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shatamwa, Kagalka, Kakwash, Lapanya, Raka, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalka, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Dabara'ai, Yara'ai, it's like it, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Dalahat, Harayam, Khan, Daradatma, Basa Irika, Babasa, Wapathka, Dabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Makwashwa, Shaka, Yahawa, Yashabia, Waya, Bahawa, Aida'id, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Da'aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al-Yawan, Al, Kalaha, Arataza. In English, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head. They have taken crafty counsel against thee, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Edom, and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which pierced at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make the Nobs like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all the princes like Zabah, and as the Muna, who say, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as they stumble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord, that men may know that thou, who names alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Saw, Yeshabia, which means you may be seated. All right, so we are picking up where we left off, of course, though. That is in the Tanakh, or in this case, the Torah. No, we're out of the Torah. We're in the Tanakh, though, which is the Old Testament. We are in 2 Kings. Chapter 10, verse 11. So, start at verse 11 through verse 17. So once again, I'm in 1 Kings, Salakia. Double duty. Second Kings chapter 10, verse 11. Vayaka, Waha, Wa'a, Ath, Ka, Hanasha'a, Rayam, Labayath, Aka, it's like Aka Ab, Bayaza, Ra'a, it's like it. Ra'i Allah. Wakal. Gadala Yawa. Wama Yada I Yawa Wakaha Na Yawa I Balata Ya Hasha Yawa Yara Lawa Shara Yad, verse 12. Waya Qadash. It's like it. Waya Kwam. Waya Ba. Waya Laka. Shamar, Shamarwa, Hawa'a, Bayath, Iquad, Hara'ayam, Bada Raka, verse 13. Wayaha Wa'a, Ataza'a, Ath, Akaya, Akaza Yahweh, Malak, Yahweh Wayamar, Maya, Atham, Wayamar, it's like it, Wayamarwa, Akaya, Akaza Yahawa, Anaka Nawa, Wana Rad, Lasha Lawam, Banya, Hamalak, Wabanaya, Hagaba Yura'a, verse 14, Wayamar, Tapa Shawam, Kayayam, Wayatha Pashawam, Kayayam, Wayasha Kata Wam, Allah, Bawa Ya, Saki, Bawa Ra, Bayatha, Iquad, Araba, Saki, Arabayam, Washana Yum, Ayash, Wayala, Saki, Wala'a, Hasha Yura, Ayash, Maham, verse 15. Wayalak, Masham, Waya Mataza'a, Ath, Yahweh, it's like it, Yahweh Nabad, it's like it, Nadab, Ban, Rakab, Lakwa Athawa, Waya Baraka Hawa, Wayamar, Allah Wayawa, Haya, it's like a Hayash, Ath, Laba Baka, Yashar, Ka'ashar, Laba Ba Ya, Ain, Laba Baka, Waya Amar, Waya Yahweh Nadaba, Yash, Wayash, Dana Ha, Ath, Yada Ka, Waya Than, Yada Wa, Waya Alaha Wa, Al, it's like it, Ayawa, Al, Hama Raka Baha, verse 16, Wayamar, Lakaha, Athaya, Rara Ha, it's like it, Rara, it's like it, Wara aha. Bakwa na Athaya. La Yahawa. Waya Rakabya. It's like it. Rakabwa. Athawa. Baraka Bawawa. Verse 17. Waya Ba'a. Shama Rawa Ruran. Wayaka Ath Ka Hanasha Hanasha Rayam La'a Ka'ab Bashama Ra'an Ide Hama Hasha Maya Dewa Kadabar, Yahweh, Ashar, Debar, Al, Allah Yahweh. Alright. So what we just read, Second Kings chapter 10, starting at verse 11. Is what we just went over. So Jehu slew all that remained in the house of Ahab in Jezreel, all these men. Salakia. Salakia. I'm going to go back to verse 4, Salakia. We're just going to go from verse 4 all the way through 17. We're just going to read verses 4 through, just to make sure that we have covered it. I do recall the last time Jehu had called for the children of Ahab. Alright? The children of Ahab was to basically choose amongst themselves who would be the champion. What I was just reading was not that. So we're going to do 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 4 to verse 11 real quick. Waya Awa Ma'ad Waya Marwa Hanaha Shanaya Hamalakayam La'a Imadawa Lapanya Hawa Wa'a Yaka Na'ima Da Anaka Nawa, verse 5. Waya Shalak Ashar Al Haba Yath Wa Ashar Al Ha'ai Yara Waha Zakwa Nayam Waha Aman Yam Al Yahweh A La Amar Abad Yaka Ana Kana Wa Wakal Ashar Ta'amar Ala Wa Na'isha Ha La Nama La Yaka Ayash Hapa Waba Ba'ai Yaka Aisha Ha verse 6 Waya Katab Ala Yaham Sapar Shana Yath La Amar Am Laya Atham Waya La it's like it Wala Kuala Laya Atham Shama Ayam Kwathawa Ath Ra'asha Ya Anasha Ya Bana Ya Ada Naya Kam Waba Awa Alaya Ka'aitha Maka it's like it Makar Yazara Ila Ha Waba Naya Hama Laka Shaba Ayam Ayash Ath Gada Laya Ha'ai Yara Magada Layam Awatham verse 7 Wayahawa Wayahaya Kaba'a Hasapar Alaya Ham Waya Kwa Kawa Ath Banaya Hamalaka Waya Shaka Shapatwa Shaba'ayam Ayash Waya Yamawa Ath Ra'asha Yaham Badawa Da Yam Waya Shala Kawa Allah Yawa Yaza Ra'ai Allah Ha verse 8 Waya Ba'a Hamal La'aka Waya Gada Lawa La'amar Haba Ya Awa Ra'asha Ya Bana Ya Hamalaka Waya Amar Shayamar Atham Shanaya Tazaba Rayam Pathak Hasha Ira Id Haba Kwa verse 9 Waya Haya Baba Kwara Waya Taza'a Waya I Mada Waya Amar Allah Kaw Hayam Taza Kwayam Atham Hanaha Anaya Quasha Rathaya Al Adanaya Wa'aha Raga Hawa Wamaya Hakaha Ath Kal Alaha. Verse 10. Da'aiwa Apa Wa'a Kaya La'a Yapala Madabar Yahweh Ara Tazaha Ashara Dabar Yahweh Al Bayath Aka Abba Wayahawa Aishaha Ath Lashar Dabar Bayad Ibadawa Allah Yahweh. Alright, so what we just read, just to cover, you know what I'm saying, everything that we were supposed to, that was 2 Kings chapter 10, starting at verse 4. This is after Jehu had wrote a letter, you know what I'm saying, to the children, or the children of Ahab, right? He told them to, you know, choose, like, fight amongst yourselves. Who's going to be the master? Who's going to fight for your master's house? Though y'all decide, y'all choose. And here we are, verse 4 says, but they were exceedingly afraid and said, behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How then shall we stand? So they're just curious and wondering. Well, it's like, we'll just read through the whole thing first, and then we'll come back and break it down. And he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, and the elders also, and the bringers up of the children sent to Jehu, saying, we are thy servants, and we will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king. Do thou that which is good in thine eyes. Then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, if ye be mine, and if ye will hearken unto my voice, take ye the heads of the men, your master's son, and come to me to Jezreel by tomorrow this time. Now the king's sons, being servants, being 70 persons, were with the great men of the city, which brought them up. And it came to pass, when the letter came to them, that they took the king's sons and slew 70 persons, and put their heads in baskets, and sent them to Jezreel. And there came a messenger and told them, saying, they have brought the heads of the king's son. And he said, lay them in 2 heaps at the entering of the gate until the morning. And it came to pass in the morning that he went out and stood and said to all the people, ye be righteous. Behold, I conspired against my master and slew him. But who slew all these? Verse 10. Know now that there shall fall unto the earth nothing of the word of the Lord, which the Lord spake concerning the house of Ahab. And the Lord hath done that which he spake by his servant Elijah. So Jehu slew all that remained in the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his great men, and his kinsfolk, and his priests, until he left him none remaining. And he rose and departed and came to Samaria. And as he was at the shearing house in the way, verse 13, Jehu met with the brethren of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and said, who are you? It's like, who are ye? And they answered, we are the brethren of Ahaziah, and we go down to salute the children of the king and the children of the queen. And he said, take them alive And they took them alive and slew them at the pit of the shearing house, even 42 men, neither left he any of them. And when he said, Depart thence, he lighted on Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him, and saluted him, and said to him, Is thine heart right? Is my heart? It's like, is my heart is with thy heart? And Jehonadab answered, It is. If it be, give me thy hand. And he gave him his hand, and he took him up to him in the chariot. And he said, Come with me and see my zeal for the Lord. So they made him ride in his chariot. And when he came to Samaria, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria, till he had destroyed him, according to the saying of the Lord, which he spake to Elijah. All right, so for time's sake, we'll definitely go through this though, but we'll get a quick breakdown of it. If y'all got questions, just let me know. It said, but 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 4, but they were exceedingly afraid, and said, Behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How shall we then? So these are the so what happened is Jezreel wrote a letter, just like Jehu wrote a letter, you know what I'm saying, to the children of Ahab, and he also wrote it to the rulers, right? That's what he did. And in this letter, you know what I'm saying, he was just saying, look, decide amongst yourselves, you know what I'm saying, who is going to be the king, who is going to be the masters, who is going to stand for Ahab, who's going to stand, you know what I'm saying, and defend Ahab. And of course, there's just like, 2 kings, you know what I'm saying, stood before this man, and they stood no chance. What chance do we? So here we are, verse 5. And he said, that was over the house. It's like it. And he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children sent to Jehu, saying, We are thy servants, and we will do all that thou shalt bid us. This, sadly, is exactly, I'm saying, kind of like, if I'm putting it in the right context. Think about, you know what I'm saying, think about anybody at one point in time who tried to oppose America, right? They try to oppose America, and it's just like, man, they don't stand no chance, though. They stand no chance. You understand? They look, you had all these great armies. All these armies came up, they fought, they were put to death. America, you know what I'm saying, what did it? Pearl Harbor happened, and they blew the hell out of the, you know what I'm saying, the Japanese. They blew them, you know what I'm saying, the kingdom come. Why? Because they came up against America. Who else is going to try to actually come up against America? Who knows? But here it is now. When I think of this, I think of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Right? I think of Tulsa, Oklahoma, when they literally just destroyed and massacred all of our people. This is kind of like what this reminds me of. I'm not saying that it is the exact same thing, because these were children and leaders of descendants of a king that the Most High was like, they're going to be put to death. You understand? Because they weren't being righteous, they were being wicked. And Jehu was like, listen, I'm going to do what the Most High says. I'm going to go out and put all of them to death that ought to be put to death. And if Jehu was wrong, he's like, man, listen, so be it. That'll be, I will die, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of, what I'm doing. But if he doesn't die, the Lord surely was with him. And that's what they're fearing right now. They're like, man, the kings, 2 kings went up against him. And they both was like put to death. What chance do we stand? You understand? So here we are, we keep reading. It says, why are there, it's like it says, verse 5, and he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children sent to Jehu, saying, we are thy servants. This reminds me of us, like our leaders saying to, America or our oppressor, and just saying, look, man, look, we can work with you. We can work something out. You understand? Like, we'll get the people in line. All right. And this is what happened. We are thy servants, and we will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king. We're not going to put a ruler over us. We're going to submit to your law. We are going to follow after you. Do thou that which is good in thy eyes. They gave him permission to put them to death. Essentially. If Jehu saw fit to say, everybody of the house of Ahab should be put to death, that's exactly what is going to happen. Why? Because they just said, do as you see fit. We are your servants. And the servants, are to do what? Serve. And this is the first order that he gave. He said, then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, if ye be mine, and if ye will hearken unto my voice, take ye the heads of the men, your master's son. Who's their master? King Ahab. Who's his son? The ones that they were raising up, to be kings or to be rulers someday. But because they feared Jehu so much, they put, as he's asking them to put King Ahab's children to death. Take the heads of the men, your master's sons, and come to me in Jezreel by tomorrow this time. Now the king's sons, being 70 persons, were with the great men of the city, which brought them up. So they were what? They were with the men who were supposed to be rearing them up, raising them up. And this is what happened. And it came to pass, when the letter came to them, that they took the king's sons and slew 70 persons and put their heads in baskets and sent them to Jezreel. So they did as he told them. They killed the king's sons and they sent the heads, to Jezreel. Verse 8, and there came a messenger and told him, saying, they have brought the heads of the king's sons. And he said, lay them in 2 heaps at the entering of the gate until the morning. So what did he do? He took them and he laid them out as if like 2 ranks, right? Two rows. Laid them out. Okay? Until morning. And it came to pass in the morning that he went out and stood and said to all the people, ye be righteous, behold, I conspired against my master and slew him. But who slew all these? Right? Jehu, because when Jehu was coming to the city, right? They asked him, Jezebel was like, your master wanted peace, but yet you slew him. Right? That's what he was asking. That's what she asked. Of course, she was put to death. Here it is. He laid the heads of the kings or the children of Ahab, who what? Who the servants, in this particular case, or the leaders, conspired against the children of King Ahab and put them to death. Now he's asking the question. I conspired against my master, but who slew these men? That's the question. If y'all be righteous, then who put these men to death? Why would you? It's like how we go to Planned Parenthood and we get abortions and we put our children to death instead of, you know what I'm saying, having our children, instead of bearing our seed. Oh, you need to focus on your career. Well, you can't do that if you're a mother. You can't do that, you know what I'm saying, if there's no ring on that finger. If you don't have that certificate of marriage, you can't do that. So what must you do? You must slay that child that stood no chance, that was completely innocent. That's unfortunately, I'm saying, what a lot of us will do today. We'll fall into that. You understand? And we'll still say that what? We're righteous. We'll still say that we're what? Christ-like. We'll still claim, you know what I'm saying, to be what we're not. And here's Jehu, you know what I'm saying, giving an example of that same thing. Y'all claim to be righteous. And he said, I did what? I conspired against my master, and I slew him. But who slew these? Right? Who slew them? Know now that there shall fall unto the earth nothing of the Lord, nothing of the word of the Lord, which the Lord spake concerning the house of Ahab. For the Lord has done that which he spake by his servant Elijah. So what was prophesied, what was said to have happened, has finally occurred. And that's what he's saying. That is occurred. The entire house, the inhabitants of King Ahab were put to death, right? We'll keep reading. Verse 11. So Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his great men, and his kinsfolk, and his priests, until he left him none remaining. They were to be abolished the same way. They were to be abolished. There to be nothing left of them. Why? Because there was wickedness, you know what I'm saying, underneath that king. There was wickedness, you know what I'm saying, in the mannerism. Just like when we left out of Egypt, you know what I'm saying, there were those of us that murmured and complained, of course, though. So we got stuck in the wilderness for 40 years. 40 years. Some died of sickness, some died of, wild animals and beasts, of course, though. Just like others, you know what I'm saying, were swallowed up by the earth. But it occurred, why? Because we were trying to go back into oppression instead of pressing forward and stepping out, you know what I'm saying, to be righteous men and women of the Most High. That's what we failed to do, of course. You understand? Here it is, the same thing. Jehu was just like, we have to put them all to death. They all have to die. Why? So that there may be nothing left. There'll be that one child that remembered, yeah, I saw my father get put to death. Y'all remember, you know what I'm saying, Thanos? Captain Zaniel was bringing that out, right? How he raised up, was it Gamora or whatever her name was? He raised up Gamora, and then she ultimately did what? Put him to death, didn't she? She conspired against him because he slew her entire people. So Jehu slew all that remained in the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his great men and his kinsfolk and his priests, until he left him none remaining. Verse 12. And he arose and departed and came to Samaria. And as he was at the shearing house, in the way, Jehu met with the brethren of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and said, "Who are ye?" And they answered, "We are the brethren of Ahaziah, and we go down to salute the children of the king of the king and the children of the queen." Well, what did Jehu already do? Jehu already done made his move. And now, you know what I'm saying, these men, unbeknownst to them, are walking right into their death. As it says, verse 14, and he said, "Take them alive." And they took them alive and slew them at the pit of the shearing house, even 42 men. Neither left he any of them. And when he was departed, thence he lighted on Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him. And he saluted him and said to him, "Is thine heart right, as my heart is with thy heart?" What is your purpose? What are you trying to do? What are you up to, man? Are you about this work? Same thing, you know what I'm saying, when we talk to brothers and sisters out here in the streets, of course, though, hey, man, listen, are you about, what's your focus on? What's your purpose? Are you about getting money for yourself? Or you out here, you know what I'm saying, to raise up your people, man? Are your thoughts and mindset aligned with mine? Are you aligned with the Most High? The Most High told us to wake up our people, of course, though. What about you? What are you focused on? Are you looking for the fancy clothes? Are you looking for pleasure? Are you looking for what feels good? Are you looking to join with the other nations? What is your purpose? What is your intent? And if your intent lines with mine, then come aboard. If not, Lord be with you. And of course, that's exactly what he said. He said, "It is. If it be, give me thine hand." It is? Come on, man. Give me your hand. And he pulled him aboard. And he gave him his hand. And he took him up to him in the chariot. And he said, "Come with me and see my zeal for the Lord." So they made rides like this. So they made him ride in his chariot. And when he made to Samaria, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria, till he had destroyed him, according to the saying of the Lord, which he spake to Elijah. All right. So with that, you know what I'm saying, that is the Sabbath, of course, though. So lock it, you know what I'm saying. Went about it a little differently just because wanted to start the Sabbath at the Sabbath time, which is at sundown. If we started the Sabbath prior to, but to do the prayers and everything in the way that it should, of course, though, waited until it was after sunset. So here we go. With that, we're going to do the prayers for time's sake because we are past time. But we did, of course, go over the Lashawan Qadash. Y'all should also, practice and study. We are going to Amijim, which is the stand. Rapaya Hakadam, turn and face the east. All right. Oh, so like it. Yeah, turn and face the east. Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Daba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Lathananawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'a, Dabayayanawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashainawa, Maya, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Walaparwath, La Iwalam, Aman, in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the glory, for thine is the power, and glory forever. So be it. Amen. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Why Melaki Allah? Why Allahayim? Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapim. Ha Sabrayanyam. Ha Kwatazayanyam. Ha Kayayanyam. Well, Hakwakim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Aman, in English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels. Commander Junihana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it. Always so be it. Saul. Shabya, sisters may be seated. And Israel. Imagine. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yashab Rakathum. That's a matah. So, okay, salute to the sisters. And Israel. Imagine. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yazamatah. Class dismissed.